Hi everyone, welcome back. This is Tuplex. Today we're going to be setting up production of wood using Bob's greenhouses. In the last episode I announced that I was caving in to laziness or simplicity, depending on how you want to look at it, and decided just to use the greenhouses to make wood rather than go with one of the more complicated options. I've got more complexity than I ever bargained for, so I decided to do this one in sort of an easy way. And I've just been looking at the map to figure out what would be a good place to put it. And I was thinking over here, but there's not really any water close by. I mean, I do have water coming in here, but that's intended to feed all of this. Maybe I could put it here or down here where the barrels are. I could easily add another station here. Yeah, I think I'll put it over here, close to this barrel station. So I'll go to empty barrels PAX. Whoops. And we'll get started. So I've crafted 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120, 140, 160. I have 163 greenhouses. And I think I could make more if I had some more iron plate. So we can always craft more. I don't know if I need that many, but I'll just fill up the space with as many greenhouses as we can fit there. Okay, so first let's add a rail station with a provider set up. Let me look for a good provider model. I guess any one of these would do. Oh, okay, that's for filtering. I don't need filtering. Let me find a different one. Okay, well, I'll just go ahead and use this. Okay, we'll remove that. I'll remove most of this. I'll leave one coming in, and the rest of this I think will be okay. All right, so here I've got 1, 2, 3, and then 4. And this is not going to line up. Or is it? Yeah, that's okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. All right. So we'll call this wood. I guess that's as much of a name as I need. And then we'll get this hooked up. Put another chain signal there, and then move that one back there. There. Okay. And then this is going to be balancing from this side to that side. So this is where the input will come in. This will be for raw wood. And each one of these, actually, Yeah, you know, I'll keep the limit on here. I was going to say that I don't really need to limit it if I'm only going to have wood, but I might at some point decide to add something else to this station. So I will limit it to, well, I'll just leave it at the 38,000. That ought to be enough. Okay. So then we have all the space over here, and I'll put it close to the rail. That way we'll leave some extra space in case I decide to add more stations later. So I'll put the wood production over here. First we'll clear the trees and rocks, so I have plenty of room. And if you haven't done this before, the wood production with greenhouses is fairly simple. Essentially, you can take raw wood and turn them into seedlings, which are then used to grow wood in the greenhouse. And then when the wood comes out, you convert some of them back into seedlings. But you consume less wood than you get from the greenhouses. So you end up with a net positive quantity of wood. Okay. So there's a water input on these, and they just take plain water. So let's start right here. So this will just be kind of the initial setup. We'll add many more of these, obviously. But water goes in. You set the recipe. Right now there's only one. So you get 15 raw wood from 10 seedlings, with the addition of plain water. And then you can use a standard assembly machine to make the seedlings. And so with these, you get 5 seedlings from 1 raw wood. All right, so first let me set up the belts and everything, and then I'll start copying. We could share belts. But I think I'd like to do this with separate belts for the wood and the seedlings. So if that belt is for the wood, then the seedlings will be coming up the other way. Like that. Okay, and the wood will be coming out. Yeah, slow enough that we can use basic inserters like that. I'll make the ones on the bottom near inserters, and put a power pole and a light on each side. Right, and then we can just copy that. Okay, maybe I did that too soon. I did do that too soon. All right. Yeah, let's not use those lights because we need to get the seedlings in as well. Okay, and then we can put the lights there like that. Okay, and then we'll just tile this down as far as we can. There we go. Now it's tileable. Okay, so that's 8, 24, 32, and 40. And I think I'll do a second row like that. So that'll give me 80 greenhouses total. Again, I'm not sure exactly how many I'm going to need. Yeah, and I think we can share the belt with the seedlings on it. All right, and I am out of yellow inserters, and red inserters for that matter. So we'll have to go get some more of those. Okay, so all the wood is coming down here. And so I think what I'll do is, well, let's see. So we're going to need, for one column, we need 2.5 seedlings per second. Okay, yeah, so I think one of these ought to be enough. Because this will make 7.5 seconds. So actually two of these machines, one on each side, ought to be more than enough to keep all of this fed. No. So let's see. So I'll run the wood. There. So we can have 4 belts of wood coming down, and then let's see how much is going to be coming out here. If I select the whole thing, we're going to be getting 15 per second. Yeah, so we can condense this down into a single red belt, and that ought to be enough to handle all of it. Okay, and then I'll put an underground there. I'll put an underground there. Okay, and then this will be for the seedlings. Okay, so this one can pull from, I want to pull equal quantities from each belt of wood. So this one we'll have to pick up from down there, and this one will have to be long. Okay, and then the outputs will go on these 4 belts. I think I'm going to need the larger power poles. That one's covered. Okay. All right. So I think that should work. So we just need to feed it with some water. That belt we can cut off there, and that belt we can cut off there. There we go. Okay, let's make an offshore pump. Actually, I can pull it right here. That's a little bit closer. I think one is going to be more than enough. Okay, and then we just need to give it some power. And I'll do that right there. Okay, now I just need some wood to get the first seedling started. So I'll go and grab some of the wood that I put in these warehouses previously. This ought to be enough to get the ball rolling. Okay, so these are rather slow. As you can see, it's a 60-second cycle time. Actually longer. Crafting speed is 0.75, so they do take a while before the first bits of wood come out. So while we're waiting for that, we can go back to the base to get more inserters. Is that all I need? Yeah, I should probably get... I'll go for 2 stacks of each. We'll get 100 and 100. So let's go back and get that stuff, and then we'll come back and finish this up. Let's check and see if there's any more worthwhile research to do. We can make fertilizer. I suppose we should research that. That would allow us to be more productive with the wood, with the addition of fertilizer. So I'll go ahead and research that. That'll only take a minute or so anyway. And then once we have the wood, we can start working towards making circuits, which is really what I wanted it for. Okay, that was quick. Let's see what else we can do. Yeah, that one I'm not too interested in. Logistic slots. All right, let's do these ore processing upgrades. Why am I not getting my inserters? Maybe the bots are all busy. No? Well, who knows? Okay, so we'll go back to empty barrels. Okay, that one's done. We'll do powder metallurgy. Yeah, so like I said, this method of making wood is very simple, as you can see. I know some of you may be disappointed with that, and I would understand. But I really want to start making more progress in the game, and this is a way that I can do that fairly easily. Okay. Well, I suppose that I could just run the belt straight over and up, although that would kind of cut through a lot of the useful space that we have here. So let's make this a little more compact. I'll just run it up like this. Okay, so I think all of our inserters are in place. We can see that some of the greenhouses are still not producing yet because they're waiting for seedlings. Now, one potential problem I could see here is that if I start consuming a lot of wood, I don't know. I think with 2 blue inserters on each one, they should be able to pull wood off fast enough from the belts to keep feeding themselves. But I could see a situation where if the wood is going by too quickly, they wouldn't be able to grab enough, and then it would eventually slow down and stop. So maybe what I should do instead is use a splitter. Well, that's still not... I mean, that would guarantee that I always get at least some of the wood. Yeah. No, I think it'll be fine like this. Okay, so they're all running now. Just want to check my power consumption. It's starting to get up there. I am going to need more power soon. Okay, and then I'll just run it just to the south of this water line. And we'll run it across this way, and that way we don't get in the way of the other stuff of the rest of the space that we have here for future expansion. Okay, and now we should have more wood than we're ever going to need. I mean, it's not that much, but it's a lot more than we had. What should we do next? Battery 3, I don't know. Yeah, I don't really need that yet. Mining productivity is always a good one. Let's do character logistics slots. Okay. Awesome. Let me just make sure that this single belt is going to be fast enough. Yeah, it looks like they're starting to empty out. Yeah, I think the one belt is fine. Okay, good. So we've got our wood production. Let me mark this on the map. There we go. This one I never marked. This is, what, purified water? Okay. So, once I have wood, all right, so the question now is, yeah, I guess it's more efficient to export the wood rather than exporting wood boards. So I'll just export the raw wood to wherever we're going to make circuits, and we'll set up something similar to this. And then we can get started on these basic circuit boards. So we'll only need to import wood and copper for that to work. All right, let's finish Logistic System 2. What is this going to open up? Logistic System 3. So that's basically just going to give me bigger and bigger chests. I don't really need that. Since I'm using silos and warehouses. We could do express loaders. Let's do mining productivity. We'll do at least one level of mining productivity. I usually like to prioritize that, because the sooner you get it, the more benefit you get from it. Okay, just checking what I've got in these chests. Okay, what do I have my limit set to? 1. All right. Okay, so let's figure out where we want to put our circuits. We're going to be bringing lots of plates from here. So this would be the closest, but I'm also going to have some mining there. So I would rather have an area like this that's going to be relatively clear. Yeah, so I think I'll set it up here. And then I'll need to decide what style of train station I want to use. If I want to use this style, or this style, or this style. I do kind of like this because it doesn't take up much room. The only problem with that is that the trains have to come in from one direction. Which is going to create additional traffic. So I think I'll duplicate this for the entry point over here. And then maybe I'll mirror it on the other side for the finished products. So I'll have raw materials coming in on one side and finished product coming out on the other side. That seems like a reasonable plan. Let's see. And this first one is an input station, so I will copy up to the first one. And I'm going to get a lot of extra junk here on this blueprint. Okay, so I'm going to eliminate all the belts, loaders, and splitters. I need to get rid of all this stuff. And then all of this I can keep. I'm going to remove this combinator that has the requests because I don't want any requests being made yet. And the rest of it, I think, can stand as is. All right, so I still have some extra junk here. Get rid of that. All right. All right, good. So let's head over there. Do I have a PAX here? Yeah. Let me go to waste processing PAX. That's a little bit closer. Actually, I should get... Actually, why don't I just drive my train down there? I think that'll be the better way to do it, since I have all my supplies in here. We'll go manually, which is something I normally try to avoid, especially when there's a lot of traffic. All right, and then this is going to go right there. Okay. And we'll name that station at the appropriate time. And from now on, I'm just going to put the requests in the same combinator. I guess there's not really any need to have two combinators doing that. Okay. So now let's copy the rest of this. I'll copy all the way down to there. But again, I'm just going to get rid of everything except for the rail and the signals. I'll even get rid of the stations. Okay, and that goes right there. Okay, perfect. And I'll make this last one my passenger station. Do I have a passenger stop? I do not. I need some circuits. Actually, I don't have any train stops on me. I should probably put in a request for those. Actually, I don't remember if I'm making those automatically or not. Anyway, I'll make, let's get some iron plate. There we go. I'll make one of those. And I'll make a couple handfuls of the LTN stations. Oh, and then make another one of those. All right, so I'll put my passenger station down here at the end. And we'll call this circuits PAX. And so the goal will be to make all the circuits here. Okay. And then I'll place the LTN stations. And we are ready to go. All right, so on this first one, we are going to request wood and copper plate. Let me see what is the ratio of those two items. So if I get the basic circuit boards, and I'll just set the output to 100. And wood from raw wood. Okay, so we need 25 raw wood for every 100 circuits. And then the copper cable we're going to be making from plates. So 150. All right, so it's a 6-to-1 ratio of copper to wood for those circuits. However, I do need wood for the other circuits as well. Right, because I use resin and wood to make those, what are those, phenolic boards, I think, that go into the white circuits. So that's some more wood, and then I think, don't I need resin for this stuff too? Yeah, so I need more wood for that. Yeah, so I'll just do, so from 6-to-1, I'll do like a 4-to-1 ratio of copper to wood. All right, so I'll do raw wood, let's say 20,000. No, let's make it 10,000. And then we'll do copper plate, 40,000. And hopefully that'll be fairly close. I should maybe consider doing copper wire coil. Okay. So we've got a request in. I don't have the logging set yet, so... All right, yeah, here's our first train of wood. Okay, and I only have 2,000. I think that's because I typed in 2,000 to begin with. So I think there's going to be another delivery once that one goes back. Yeah, and I can see right now my depot is pretty much empty. All right. Yeah, here's another delivery scheduled. Here it comes. Yeah, and then this one should load up with about 8,000. All right, and then copper plate is over here. Yeah, or no, I think that's bronze or brass. Here's copper plate. Yeah, we've got 40,000 copper plate. So I suppose that will come after the wood has been delivered. Okay. So now the big question is, how fast do I want to make these things? What I've got now in the main base makes 16 per second. So what if I double that? I really hate flying blind like this, where I don't really know what I'm going to need. I guess and that's because I'm used to using the online Factorio calculator for my vanilla bases to design the base in terms of production capacities. But there's not a version of it that supports Angel's mods and Bob's mods, which is why I'm not using it. Now, I suppose I could set something up in HellMod. You know, and just pick some value of science packs per minute. And go from there. And then figure out how much I'm going to need of everything. I mean, it would be like a huge production block. But at least then I would have some idea of how big I should be scaling these things. So I think I'm going to work on that between now and the next episode. And then in the next episode, I'll be able to see what we've got. Okay, I guess it's time to go. Thanks, everybody. See you next time.